And to do justice to that, we are going to be chatting with the executive chairman of the Edo Development and Property Agency, Ms. Isoken Omo. She attended the Rivers State University of Science and Technology, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and obtained a B.Tech degree in estate management in 1992. She also obtained an MBA in 1999 from the prestigious University of Hull, United Kingdom. She holds a certificate in Executive Strategy for Results from London Business School, LBS. She has over 3 decades of experience in the built environment in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. She joined ASO Investment and Development Company, AIDC, as the Managing Director and CEO, and delivered affordable housing in Cross Rivers, Ondo, Oyo, and Abia State. Now I can see why the governor had to uproot her from wherever she was to say, come to Edo State. And now running EDPA in the last 3 years, she has led the development of the 70-hectare Emotan Gardens Estate, JARA Mall, as well as the revamp of assets managed by EDPA in Abuja, Lagos, Delta, and of course, Edo States. Madam Isoken, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's very good to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Of course, it's always a pleasure chatting with you. Yes, now can you give us an overview of the state's housing and real estate sector in the last 3 years and 8 months?
Okay. Good evening. The state housing has been interesting, to say the least. It's a varied bouquet. Okay. So we have different kind of players. We have the government, we have private sector, and then we have individuals who are playing in their own area. What I mean by that, I put that just build as they go along or save towards their one home that they eventually want to build. So that's what we have. We also have cooperatives as well that are playing in that industry in Edo State. So we have, I would say, the whole spectrum of different kinds of developers in Edo. But also, we don't, the volume is not as much as we would expect. But that is not really unrelated to what Edo was prior to this time. Because now Edo is becoming an economic hub. So, and housing is one of the measurements of economic activity. Because the more vibrant an economy is, you would see it in housing, rental, acquisition, development, and things like that. So the way it has evolved in the last 3.5 years shows that a lot has happened in Edo in this time. So it's a vibrant market, but it has huge potential. We've not even climbed to where we should be, and we are not yet there. There are a lot of opportunities in housing because now people are coming into Edo for business, for investment. So they are looking for different housing types. We have particular demands in particular locations that people are looking for now. A lot of international bodies are coming into Edo to do different things, and they are looking for accommodation for their people. Gone are the days where people will come to Edo, come in on Monday, work till Thursday, leave on Friday to come back on Monday. That used to be the case. But now, with everything that has happened in the economy, people are now desiring to stay in the state. So that means a lot. You know, it means a lot. And the people that have been staying here doing the Monday to Friday are now considering bringing their families here, which was not the case before. A lot of people had their families in Lagos, in Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano, and then they would go over the weekend and come back again on Monday. So most of the people they were working for were only getting 4 days of working time from them. They lose the Monday and the Friday because they're coming on Monday. It's not their first flight. So by the time they come, it's after lunch or around lunchtime. So most of the time they might not even go to the office. And then they leave again on Friday early to be able to get out. So you only have, 3 working days, but that's not the case anymore. So it's actually, there's a lot going on.
Estate management, real estate management used to be the exclusive reserve of the men. Now you're a woman in estate management. How do you juggle it? How do you...
It's no longer, I don't think there's any profession now that is for men anymore. Women have shown over time that there's nothing like that. So I left university in 1992. In my class, we had more women than men. in my class. So if we're talking about nearly 30 years, we had more women in my class than we had men. And the women competed with the men comfortably and beat them most times. So it's no longer the thing that is a man's business. It's no longer like that. Because most women, even in property development, there are a lot of women that are doing serious things. They are doing billion-dollar businesses in housing development. So people have looked at where the opportunities are and how to take advantage of the opportunities. So right now there are a lot of people, as the graduates are coming out, we do get, because of the kind of work we do get to work with the universities. So there are a lot of women now in the whole of environmental sciences. I'm talking about estate surveying, architecture, quantity surveying, land surveying, urban and regional planning, all that. There are a lot of women. Yeah. So women is now really, I will not be surprised if it becomes a woman's industry, so, but that's just the way it is at the moment.
Okay, now what has been the major achievement of the EDPA these past years? Okay,
first of all, I'll say our first achievement is actually creating a database. Before now, from Bendel State, housing has been provided by the government. If you hear BDPA, it was Bendel Development Property Authority that built the BDP Ogbowo and the one that is in Warri. So they did those two. And they did a lot of housing estates, even under Shagari and all that. So they've always tried to do low-cost and affordable housing for their people, especially their civil servants. So from Bendel State, it came to Edo State. And even in Edo, a lot of the houses were developed Igwosa, Oregbeni, FHA, and BDP. Most of the people that bought them were civil servants. And they were given in owner-occupier basis. What that means is a lot of them didn't pay for these houses. Government gave it to them, and over time they paid for their houses and owned them. Most of these places, they were giving these loans interest-free. So government had been intervening in housing for a very long time. But as you are aware, that kind of scheme is not enough. It's not sufficient to meet every housing need. So at every point in time, they would deal with a particular number of people, 200, 300, those kind of numbers, 400, but nothing really major. So that has been the case. I remember when Edo was separated from Delta, when Bendel State was split, a lot of people who were living in Benin as the city, as the capital of Bendel, moved back. So they went back to Warri, they went back to Asaba, they went back to these different towns of Delta. So a lot of people also migrated from Edo. So people that bought these houses, a lot of the data was no longer there. Remember, there were no telephones. Some of them did not even have passport photographs. So we inherited a place where, yes, you had this over 2,000 housing stock, but no data. Who is the current owner? What is the state of this property? Have they redeveloped? Have they altered it? Have they sold it? We didn't have that information. So you had this asset given to you without really having what to do with it. Because we needed to know if we were going to regenerate, because the government, our current administration had made it clear, we don't just want to start building new towns. That's what we want to regenerate the old ones so that they can move together. As we are moving out of the city center, we are making sure that the city center is also regenerated. So people that are living in the old estate feel proud to be there. They are happy to be there because they have all the amenities they need to be there. So we needed to go back and look at these estates and say, what can we do to regenerate them, to make people feel comfortable in them? So to do that, the first thing we did was to do recertification across the estates. We started that in November 2017 and finished in February 2018.
With the data that you had?
So what we did was, we actually went to the estates. We first of all went to the radio and everything and did an awareness thing. We advertised and said, we intend to come to you door to door to take your data. So if you are the one in the property, you are either a tenant, or you inherited the property, or you are the actual owner, you bought from somebody, or you are the original owner. It has to be one of this. So we need to take that information, bring it back to the office, match it with what we have in the file, to be sure, okay, if you bought, did you get consent? Did you do it properly? If you alter, did you get approval to do it? What you have on ground, does it match what was there originally? What is the picture that is showing now? We also need to get their information to know, okay, we have phone numbers and all that. We have passport photographs. And then we created a new data where if you were to come into EDPA today and say to me, I live in plot 176, 15th Street in Ugbowo, we have your information. We know that your ground rent is paid up to date. We know that you're a tenant. We know that you're the owner. We know that you bought from somebody. It didn't happen like that before. I remember a lady coming to our office and she asked for her file. And my staff went and brought the file. And the woman knelt down in my office and was thanking God that this is the first time she has seen her file for more than 7 years. She had been coming there every time. They'll tell her, go and come. We need to go and find the file. Go and bring this. Go and bring that. She said to me, can I look at the file? I said, yes, it's your file. And we had to photocopy her previous information that she didn't have and give to her. We've had issues of the way their houses are burnt. And they no longer have the deed of sublease or whatever documentation they had. Now we can give you a CTC, a certified true copy of whatever you have on your file. All you have to do is to make a request. Now people can come in and ask, can we check if this is a genuine sale? Can I buy from this person? They say this property is owned by Edo State government. It is BDPO, it's Regbenyo, it's Ugbowo, it's Igwosa. We're able to do that. So we started from that. So we know exactly that we have 1,965 housing stock in that bracket. And we've done the awareness that we know if somebody wants to sell, they'll come to us. We have also been able to engage with the resident associations. So now they have people that they can talk to say, okay, we want this thing in our area. We just received a letter recently of resident association writing to the governor to say, please, you are doing a good thing, you are doing 19th Street in Ugbowo. Can you add Lucky Way and this and this and this and that? So if this had not been in place, they would not make those contacts. Okay. And Mr. Gomo sent to us, and what we did was to call C4 and say, can you accommodate this request so that you can add these additional roads? So, and there are things now, for example, we're trying to see how we can bring refuse collection. We're working with waste management agency on that to make sure that, okay, we can put the refuse bin and they can come and collect them. So people do not throw things into the drain and all that. We're trying to make sure that those who also had asbestos roof, for example, in Andrew Wilson, we're trying to work with people who can give them some long-term fund to change the roof to the current day, because asbestos is no longer fit for human habitation.
That's true.
So those are on regeneration. So while we're doing that, we're also building new estates. I'm sure you've heard about Emotan Gardens.
Of course, we're coming to that. Definitely.
So we're also doing new things. Not only are we doing that, well, we NAVID, the Association for People with Visible Disability, we donated an accommodation for them when one of the international agencies wanted to build them a resource center. Well, it was from our stock we gave them a place at Arosa that they are building to this, nearly ready. We donated also to the Queens, the Bendel Insurance, when they needed accommodation. We'll be able to see them assets. Okay? Senator Frank Febua, who the First Lady celebrated last year for her 76th birthday. The First Lady donated her house. It was EDPA who provided that accommodation. And got somebody to do it as CSR. Somebody paid 24 million to do it all. It's the finest house on 19th Street if you go there today. Because of that woman, 19th Street has been done. Today she has her accommodation fully furnished by the First Lady. She fully furnished it. We had people who are horticultural tenants who did the horticulture for free. Somebody did the whole house for free. If government was to put money there, it would cost government at least 40 million. But somebody did it. And this is partnership engagement. So because we have this kind of bouquet, we can say to people, do this for us. Because we will always recognize that CSR. The government wrote personal thank you letters to everybody who contributed. I mean, that is not something anybody can take from you.
Thank you. You know, you are just so enthusiastic about your job. You seem to love your job.
That's what I do for a living.
Wow. I was getting carried away, seriously. Now, can you hazard a guess, you know, at the worth of the state's real estate sector and what the prospects are in the nearest future?
That's a deep one. For assets, it's running into, I'll say hundreds of billions. Why I say that is, at the moment we have about 4 new estates coming up. One is being done by MPDC, separate. Goshen is doing an estate as well. We are doing ours. And then if you look at, today I was going on the street and I saw somebody passing with, it says heritage homes. And I had to stop. I said, oh, you can't be doing, let me check. There's a new estate that is coming up. ESMA has bought an estate in EDPA that they are building. So a lot of, these are things that have happened in the last 3 years. They were not there before. You could not talk of Edo and talk about estates. It was not some, the only estates they knew were BDPA, Igosa, Oregbeni and FHA. That is all. Now you're hearing about different kinds of estates. So there are different offerings in the market today. And we're trying to make sure that these offerings are suitable for the people. How are we doing that? We have just, Mr. Governor has just given us approval to set up the subsidiaries to deal with that. We want to do a mortgage bank, a development company, a facility management company. Okay? So that all this, the whole value chain of real estate will be dealt with. So the government has said, look, EDPA is not a developer, as it were. We are an enabler. It is government job to enable the environment and allow private sector to come and play. It's not us to be building the houses and things. We will do when we make sure that it makes sense to do it, but it's not our core function. Our core function is to say to you, you're a developer, come here. We'll make sure you can get your land, you get all your titling, we'll help you to get the approvals, and help you even to sell, because we have a list of people who will not want to buy. So you need to bring something that is fit for Edo people. We want something that we can pay bit by bit. We also want to be able to get a mortgage company where Edo people will contribute to, and from there they are able to get their mortgages at rates that make sense. So that if I am a trader in Ekiosa, but I am in a cooperative in Ekiosa, they know me in Ekiosa, the cooperative can vouch for me, and I can use the cooperative to get access. So we'll be able to do, we also want to do site and service scheme where we say, okay, this is 300 square meters of land. Come and build at your own pace. All you need to do now is to pay for the land, which will not be low, because government will provide the infrastructure. Mr. Governor has always said, it is my job to provide infrastructure. So I do not have to price that. Show me where you want to do your development. I will bring the infrastructure there. We have arrangement. You know, Osioma Power is coming. Yes. We are talking also with people for the water. You know, they are doing we are doing a large water program. So we're looking for private sector people to provide this service and meter them. Why we know it will work is, you can remember, 20 years ago, you couldn't talk about mobile phones in Nigeria. Now, there is nobody who does not have 2 numbers.
That's true.
And they are paying. Most people have a contract phone. They are paying. The same thing with meter for electricity. People have prepaid meter now. And they go and charge. So we know that if there's a service, Nigerians will pay for it.
They will.
But they need the service. And so what government is doing is providing a platform to say, I want to make it easy. You don't have to come here and wait 3 years to get your title to your document. Edo JS is there to make sure. Physical planning is there to make sure you get your approval as and when due. We are here to make sure we interface with them to make things easy. There is nobody who has come to do business with us in Edo, especially in EDPA, who will say that they have not gotten the kind of, they always talk about the way we respond and way we're willing to help to make sure that the business is okay. Because investors will go where there are good transactions, and they will go where they feel that they will get value for money. And what we were saying is that Edo is not just the heartbeat of Nigeria because they gave us the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat because you cannot traverse the north, south, east, and west without passing here. So now we don't want you to pass, we want you to stay. So we're going to another level. We want to do high-end houses. For those Edo people who are living in Lagos, Abuja, they come into Edo to do business. They don't want to be in one hotel that everybody know they are there. They want to enter somewhere where they have all the facilities they have in Lagos and Abuja, service apartments. They can have their office there. There's internet and everything. They do their business. When they're ready to go, they lock their door and go. They don't want to go, they can leave the place for their house help or whoever to be managing, but they can come to Edo as frequently as they want. They are able to leave their things behind. Not every time they call, they carry a bag. So they want that, and they are able to bring their friends to say, you know what, come to Edo. Because if we do all this, we don't need to go to Dubai and all these places. We have things, so we'll start having things like agric estates where people will go to just rejuvenate and get their bodies back. All of these are medium to long-term plans, so it's not like it's happening tomorrow. But that is what we are looking at. We're telling them, you know what, we're not here for just the fun of it. We're here to make sure these things work. And we have a serious government who will make sure this thing work. So that is why we're also saying, you need to let us finish this thing, put the policy in place. Because like I was talking to some people yesterday, I said, listen, there is no difference. The difference between what we had before and now is that
Before, somebody would just come to government and decide, okay, I don't even want anything that the predecessor was doing. I want to do my own. So they are building house, so they will leave that one, abandon it, and start their own estate because they want to put their name. So there's no continuity. But what we're doing now, we are doing a policy, a framework, where if I start housing, yes, I may not finish all the units if I leave, but the next person coming will be able to continue. Not it becomes an abandoned project. Because it was like that, BDPA will not be standing today. Igosa will not be standing today. You understand? Mm-hmm. And that is what Emotan Garden is. And that's what you find in the developed world. Whether you are in the UK or in the US, whether it's conservative or it's Labour Party or Liberal Democrat, the framework never changes. It's the same framework. But you must say, oh, the conservative are more in health or they are more in housing. Are you getting me? But government is a continuum. They don't just come and scrap everything about that. So that's what we don't want to happen here. We want it to be a continuum. So when somebody else comes, after you've given us our 8 years to finish, the other person continue.
Thank you. Now, what has been the major bottlenecks stifling the real estate sector in the state? That is what we are going to be discussing when we'll come back after the break. Stay with us.
This another comprehensive project by the Obaseki-led government. It started in June, and 1st of June to be precise, 2018. The entire project covers about 70 hectares. At the moment, 3 hectares have been built upon with about 68 houses already sold out, and a comprehensive road network divided into 2 parts: the service lanes and the dual carriageway that runs across the entire prospect. This is phase 1, about 3 hectares. The phase 2 is on the other side, about 3 hectares as well. Everything here is 6 hectares. So we have balance of 64 hectares to go. One of the houses has 2 apartments, 3 bedrooms each, which we refer to as the twin apartments. And there are 8 buildings of such. In a few days' time, the second phase will commence in earnest. The road project, as I said, is ongoing, and you can see the machines working in earnest. I wish to also say that this project has to many Edo citizens, both the skilled and unskilled workers.
My name is Obi Choma. I've been working here in this Emotan Gardens Estate past 2 years and now. Ever since I've been working here, my salary, even before month end, I received my salary. I'm very, very happy. If you look around this Edo State, especially in this upper now, this area, I know how this area was before, you know. It's because of the work of Emotan Gardens Estate now. You can come around this area. You cannot be afraid of anything because of this Emotan Gardens Estate here. Obaseki have given us securities everywhere. Now, we are proud of him.
You're welcome back. Now, Isoken. Why was it necessary to repeal and reenact the EDPA establishing law?
Okay, thank you. You know, before now, we had the edict that created Edo Development and Property Authority. Now, this particular law had everything: planning, urban regeneration, everything. It was a jack of all trades, but it was dependent on government. Government had to fund it. If government did not fund it, they cannot do anything. So if they need to go and buy water, they go to government. So when this government came into existence,
4 years ago, the governor thought it wise that, look, let us engage the housing sector stakeholders and find out how do we do housing. And when that summit was done, it was done 28th of April 2017. The white paper that came out of that, the recommendation that came out of it made it clear that, look, you need to streamline housing provision, exhume it from the ministry because before now, EDPA has been under land and survey, under housing works and power, under, urban and regional. It has been under so many ministries. And where you are just an appendage or an attachment to a ministry, you really don't get a lot of support. So they needed to exhume that and streamline it. We also they wanted an organization that was government-owned but private sector driven and private sector facing. So it will work as, we are not government staff. We are not staff of Edo State government. We are staff of EDPA. We have a different salary structure. We can hire and fire. We can be sacked, just like that, because we need to provide value for money. My staff can come to work Monday to Sunday. It's not a big deal. It's part of what they have to do. Because real estate does not have Saturday or Sunday.
That's true.
It doesn't. You have a need, you go and meet the need. If there's a burst pipe in an estate, will you say it's because it's Sunday, you won't come to work? You can't resolve it because the time the water is running, money is being lost. So that was one of the reasons why it was changed. And it gave it power to be able to, because private sector people do not want that bottleneck of government. Government go transaction die. They don't want that. They want a situation where, whether the government is there or not, so far we have agreed. Would you hear people saying, calling us MOU government? Please, can you put your money down as a private sector man? Put 5 billion down without having document to cover your back. Is it possible?
Oh.
We're not running a charity. If I must put that kind of money down, even my bank expects that I should have some covering with who I'm dealing with, and the person I'm dealing with is a fit and proper person. So it is necessary that we must put the legal documentation to tie everybody and people understand the obligations. So that even if you want to terminate tomorrow, it is easier when there is a document. So this government shows that it is a fit and proper, it's not going to do anything under the table with you, where you will not even know where the transaction started or where it ended. So we must sign the MOUs, we must sign them.
It's okay.
That is a fact. So that is why we were changed. So now we are private sector facing. We have our own boards. And our boards are full of professionals who will help the agency to thrive. Not in those days where they had like 20-something board members. They will do 18 meetings in a year. Nothing is achieved. Nothing. Now we have a slim board, 9 members. 9. And out of that 9 members, we have agencies that must be represented. Edo GIS, physical planning, and justice is mandatory that they are members of our board. So that they know exactly what we want to do. From the one, they know from the one that, okay, the beginning of the year, this is the budget. So when we start going to them to say, oh, help with title, help with beacon numbers, help with this, help with that, they know why. They participate, they are stakeholders. They know they have a stake in the business. So we're not there to make profit, but remember, real estate does not go without profit. Profit is part of it. But what we do with our profit is to plow it back to do those things that we cannot on our own do. That is why we enter into this with JARA, okay? Things like bus terminals, brick molding factory. Those are the reasons why we do them. Those are not our core business, but they support us to drive affordable housing. If we're able to get this money, we can now subsidize things within the estate, provide police station, do the schools, all those things that government would naturally do, but if we take government weight for government budget, it will take time. We can do it. There are things, the bus terminals we are doing right now is being funded by EDPA. Government 1 naira is not in it. It has never happened before. Government's 1 naira is not in it. Before, I'll be waiting for a governor. When I said to him, he said to us, okay, keep it in view. I said to him, sir, but we have money, allow us to do it. He said, approved. So we don't go to him every day and cap in hand to beg him. No.
So he has given you a free hand.
So we're able to do our thing.
Because he believes in you and
he does.
you.
And then the thing is, it's accountability. Giving us free hand does not mean that we should start going to do anything we like. No. We also have a board who must approve. Everything must be clear with them. And they must see that we apply that fund to what it was meant for. Like now, in Emotan Gardens, we have started the area where we are now providing land for people to do. We are going to do that infrastructure. It could have happened if we'll be waiting for government. But we are going to do it now. We can afford to do that infrastructure because we are making our own monies. If we go to Edo State assets across Nigeria, we have in Abuja, in Lagos, you know, Edo House, Lagos, Edo House, Abuja, we have warehouses in Isolo, we have so many assets in Utako and things. Before now, they were not bleeding those assets. We have people who were staying there, they'll be owing for 16 years rent. They are owing. How? So now they know we are not government, oh. We are not government. You must give us our money or pack out. So we can give it to that person who is ready to pay.
Were they Edo people?
Of course they do. You don't know, our people have a feeling of entitlement. It's not their fault, oh. We are royal people, so certain things follow us. But that is not, they just feel that it's the part of the cake that they need to share. And so we're saying that we're not sharing the cake, oh. But we must give it to those people that need it. Children, education, health, infrastructure, public sector reforms, judiciary reforms. That is where this money is going. So that we can leave something for posterity. We are not a short-term, eat-your-seed government. We're a government that puts things in place for other people to come on. They say a good man leaves inheritance for his children's children. So that's what we're doing here, to make sure that we have things that are sustainable. So when this government, after its next 4 years is finished, the other person will come and build on it. Imagine. Look at the airport now. Before, only one flight. Everybody will be struggling to enter that flight. But the governor used our own resources. We didn't wait for federal government to come and put 9 flights. What we needed to make the airport work, he put it in place, and now we have all kinds of airlines want to come to Edo. We are not the beautiful bride, whether we like it or not.
That's true.
And it's because we have a responsive government who has vision. If you want to talk to my boss, once you are saying something that is out of the point, you will just, it's okay, please. That's not where I'm going. This way we're going. Please, please, please. Check this way. That's where we're going. So there's no ambiguity. I don't need to interpret what my guy wants. I know what he wants. And he will not waste time. If I don't deliver it, I'm sure he will shoot me to go and get the person who can do it. Because we mean business here.
Now, these tenants that you were talking about that were occupying Edo State properties across the country.
Yes.
Were they able to meet up to the financial obligations, or you chased them out?
Well, everybody will not be the same. And the truth is, you cannot make omelette without breaking eggs. Obviously, they are the ones who we gave time and they paid. The ones who we evict. We do it the same. When I came to EDPA, there was somebody renting part of my floor. The man had been there for years and he told me that he's a politician. And then that thing that is there is part of what they gave to him. I said, well, me, I'm not a politician. You see this thing that they gave to you is my rent. Oga, you will move, oh. You have to give me, either give me the money or you move. When he refused, I went to court and got court order. Got the bailiff to pack his car and drive him away. So he has gone. Very good.
He didn't fight.
He can fight. It's his right to. Look, in law, you are free to fight. Abi? But fight at the right side. You cannot eat your cake and have. You cannot owe the government. Okay, when you owe the government, you don't pay rent for 12 years. And you expect him to do roads, light, water, security. Where do you want him to get the money from? Where? There is no amount of money that Edo State generates that will be enough for the needs of Edo State. How much are we generating? We're not there. We're not there. We are a state that, if not for the innovation of this government, a lot of things will not achieve them. We will not. So the truth is this. Yes, you want to rent government property, you got to pay. Because we're not even charging market rents. Our rents are not market rent. They are below market rent. Because Mr. Governor is also sensitive to the people. It's okay, you cannot say someone who has been paying 400 naira per square meter should just go to 2,000. You can't. It's not even reasonable by law. If somebody is a sitting tenant, you cannot arbitrarily increase his rent. There is a stepped way within which you do the rent increase. If it's a new person coming in, of course. But if the person has been there for a while, there is a way you must increase his rent by law. So we are a responsive, sensitive, empathic government.
Now, what has been the major bottlenecks stifling the real estate sector in the state in the past years? And how has the government improved?
The first one was the legislation, which was, so it was easy. He passed, that law was passed. So that makes it easier. But the other thing is capital. You know that real estate is capital intensive. It is capital intensive. It's my alarm.
That's okay.
It's my alarm, which will keep ringing. It's capital intensive. Just take it off. Just turn it off. It's alarm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Real estate is capital intensive. So that's why it's finding a lot of people that they will save for 30 years to build this their one house. If it was easy, they would be doing it in 2-3 years. For every real estate investment, you are going to spend nothing less than 33 to 40% of everything you earn. That is the global standard. So it is capital. And what we are trying to do, that's why I told you I want to try and do these different options. Because what happens is, at the moment, real estate is being funded by short-term funds, even nationally. In the other climes, you find out that pension, insurance companies, unclaimed dividends are things they used to fund real estate. Here is commercial banks, 25-28% interest rate. So how can you do that kind of business? If I borrow at 25% and now put my interest, the profit I want to make, let's say I put 10%, I'm a nice person, so I put 10%. So that is 35% ROI. And that's when I'm assuming that nothing will go wrong. I will finish on time, everything will happen. If I slap, let's say the cost of building it is 1 million, and I slap 35%, it's already 1,350,000. We've not done anything.
Yes.
Then if there's any cost overrun, it's now 1.4 million, 1.5 million. Who can buy it? Who will be able to buy it? No one. Because you're telling him to come buy it in with short-term money. Not that you want to spread that 1.5 million over 10 or 20 years. If I go to the bank now at my age, by the time they look at my unexpired working life, plus what I'm earning, they cannot give me a mortgage of more than 4 years. They won't. Because I'm high risk. A lot of us are in that kind of bracket. So we need to look for cheaper funds. We need to find a way for government to provide some level of subsidy. And that's why government is using infrastructure. Because infrastructure is about 30 to 35% of the construction cost. So if they're able to do that and make sure land is available, we have taken a chunk of the pressure of the developer. So the developer can come in with his 65%, do this business, and we can also drive the pricing to say, no, because we have given you this thing, please don't let it pass this threshold. We must give us particular houses at this price so that the average man on the street will be able to buy. Okay. So that's what, so if we get the capital, we'll be able to do more.
How is EDPA connected to producers of the building materials? That is what we're going to be looking at when we'll come back.
No problem.
Stay with us.
Thank you.
I joined this school 2014, and ever since I joined the school has always been seen by people as a dead school because of how it looks. But I have this great hope that one day, the school, Government Science and Technical College Benin City, is going to be a great place for learning for technical students that will help me stand side by side with any. Though my parents are dead, my mom and my dad, but I have my sisters who are taking good care of me. They are sponsoring my bills in school. I'm happy now that what I have before as a vision, that vision which I have before, has come to reality. And we give God all the glory.
You're welcome back. Now, it's okay. I just visited our page. Somebody was sending a message from Stockholm, Sweden. Esosa Ago. Say hi, I'm watching from Stockholm, Sweden. Do you take questions?
Yes, we take.
Yes, we do. Whatever questions you have, just type it. It will get to us. But I'm sure definitely by next week, we open our phone lines for you to be able to call us and then we can interact one-on-one. Now, it's okay. What informed the development of Emotan Garden Estate and what is the current status of the estate's development today?
Okay. Like I said to you, housing is a basic need of man. Okay? You might not have a house. You'll be under the bridge, but you will eat. You try and cover yourself. The next thing is to find shelter. So if even somebody that is under the bridge tries to put some form of shelter, whether it is waterproof or zinc or something. So he even purpose in his mind that it is necessary for him to have accommodation. So when man has dealt with his food, his clothing, he has to think about accommodation next before every other thing. So it's a basic necessity of life. And then when we look at Edo State, before now, the last housing that was built in Edo was in 2002. 2002 was the last, which was Igosa Housing Estate. Nothing has been built in Edo, nothing. So we thought, okay, fine. Let us start with something that is different, that is new. Emotan Garden is not like any other estate you have in Edo. I can assure you that. It's a work in progress. We're not yet there. But we have started, we are going there. If you see what is already on ground, you would know.
You have residents already?
Yes, we have people living there. Of course, there's light and water and everything there. So we have people living there. The thing about Emotan Garden is that it will provide everything you need. You don't need to go anywhere. As you're entering the estate, the first part of the estate, if you go now, it's a green area, it's going to be the shopping. So that anything you want to buy is there. After that, you have the high-density housing units. From high density, we go to medium density, and then we have the low density. We have 3 lakes, artificial lakes inside the estate. They have 2 purposes. First of all is to drain. The second is for aesthetics and for recreation. Because we're going to have fish, and so children will go to the pond to catch fish, people will sit around it, and things like that. We have school. We have a health center. We have a leisure center, and we have a police station. Inside this estate. We have 2 entrances. We have 2 entrances where the high-end people have where they can enter from. If you don't want to use that, you can use the low end. But that's not even the thing. We've put Emotan Garden on Upper Sakmoba. You know how people used to talk about Upper Sakmoba? Hey, Upper. That's how they used to talk. Aja. They used to call Ekpe. You understand? They used to call places even in Abuja that now people are living in. Yeah. When I came to Abuja, you could not live in Wuye. If you went to that area, you are looking for something. It was only Garki, Wuse, and Metama. Today, people are living in Nasarawa and coming to Abuja. Why? Infrastructure. If you want to regenerate an area, no matter how bad in reputation, I remember when I went to live in the UK, you could not go to Brixton. But today, if you don't own your 800,000, 1 million pounds, you can't buy anything in Brixton. It has totally regenerated. I did the regeneration of the Elephant and Castle. It was my project. And Elephant and Castle was not where you could go to. But when we took over all those bad estates, we regenerated them. Today, you have to be it to live in the Elephant. Okay? That's what is happening in Sapoba, Upper Sapoba. Because this main road that is going there, Oga is going to do that road. It's a federal road. But governor has purpose in his mind that for that estate to work, that road has to be done. He has started doing St. Saviour, which is coming from the back through Aviama to that same estate. And then we have the bypass, 3 access. So if we provide everything you need in Upper Sapoba, what are you looking for in the city center? You can shop. Your children can go to school. There's hospital. There's police for crime and whatever. There's lights, water, and everything. What are you looking for? You will stay there and it will thrive. I'll tell you something. When we moved to that place, it was bush. You were there. The first building, it was bush. Today, at that point, land there was about 500,000. Today, go there with your 2 million, you cannot find. People have started, businesses have come up all across the streets. Even ramshackle ones that they are building. Why? People are coming there. People are coming to work as workers. They need to eat. They need to clothe themselves. They need to have some bit of entertainment, somewhere to sit and drink. So business, people will always follow where the money is. Money has a scent that calls people. And that's what development does to you. Once there is development. So when people are laughing, I tell you better go and buy an Upper Sakoba now. Because a time will come where all those houses, people will buy them to support the estate. We have seen it happen everywhere in the world. To support the estate. So those people that have inherited those houses, we sell them off. Because if a house that was not worth 2 million, because a Emotan Garden has come there, is now worth 12, 15 million, they will sell.
They will sell.
Once they sell, the new business will come to support the estate. That area will be regenerated. So as people are running into JARA, if you have not reached JARA, you go up past Akoba, then we move again to the other side of the bypass. And then we keep going. You know, we have done the Obage Nibosa. We are doing the compensation now and acquisition. We also do new towns because Benin is a planned city. There's how far it can grow. It cannot grow past a particular land. Here is finite. So we need to move it and make it desirable. The MPDC estate is on the bypass, on the other side of the bypass. So as long as we keep moving in that direction, people will start going there. Before, if somebody told you they were living in EDPA, you used to feel sorry for them. I worked in Lagos. I would say, hey, yeah, we'll be home while people are going. Today, you get to EDPA and not know you have reached there. You will say, welcome to Ogun State. How? Because infrastructure has made EDPA to be like you're in Lagos. Chevron is now Lagos. What I call it Chevron. I remember if you lived in Chevron or lived in VGC, people used to feel sorry for you.
Not to talk of Awoya, yeah.
No, don't call those ones. Don't call those ones. Don't call all those Ibejulek. Don't call them. But right now, where are they? People say, I live in phase 4. Do you know where phase 4 was before? But infrastructure has made phase 4
closer.
So you will hear people tell you, I live in Upper. We'll give it another name. Maybe. I don't know. People will decide. The new, let's call it a good name. I don't want to use things like cocaine quarters and things, but when you hear the name, you will know that yes. And it will be this administration's doing.
Upper Island.
Upper Island, if you don't have guts, changes have been done by people that have guts to make the change happen. And that is what this government is doing. Make the change happen. People are not desirable and happy to say, I am from Edo, I live in Benin. Look at what has happened in the entertainment industry. Look at what has happened in social media. Look at what has happened with Edo jobs. Look at what has happened. In short, Agric. I don't know where to start. Because anything we touch like this, somehow it turns to gold.
Midas touch.
That's all. But this one, it is Edo touch. We're Edo people. We are unique people.
We're blessed.
And if we make up our mind to do anything, whether good or bad, we do it very well. So that is it. But this one, we've decided to do things that are good. So that is why you see these changes. So by the time this estate finished, 1,660 housing units. It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. Calculate the amount of people that are there. Do it at a calculation of 5 persons per household. See the amount of people that are going to be sitting in one place, over 10,000. They think about the service people that will come and support that kind of environment, that kind of neighborhood. Now, the economic activity is better imagined.
Okay, now how are you connected to producers of building materials in the state to ensure a saturation of capital that create more jobs and, of course, increase economic activity? Okay, Habiba,
if you remember, when we did the groundbreaking, there was something we showed the Vice President, Osibanjo, where we told him that everything in this house, 80% of it was locally sourced.
Yes.
You know, we have the Chinese in Otesi. Let me explain to you. The block was local. The cement was local. The doors, local. Sanitary wares, local. PVC, local. Windows, local. Roof, again, local. Paint, local. Even labor, local. So what Oga has said is this: I am not interested in making money. I'm interested in my people making money. That is how Edo will prosper. So what we have done is, with all these industries, imagine we're doing 1,660 houses, and we have everybody buying from this same source. I'm going to the people doing doors and say, I want 1,660, not doors, times 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 doors. Do you know how many people will be employed? We the same thing for glass, the same thing for window, the same thing for cement, the same thing for roof, the same thing for tiles. Do you know how many people that naturally will not be working that will have work? It's so bad that even Hausa people are coming here to drag work with our people because of the economic activity. Oga has insisted on local content. And that is why you see these MOUs, Hey, we have put local content in the MOU. Edo job will testify. We don't employ anybody that is not local. Supplier, you have to be local. So when they want to employ, for example, JARA, when JARA wanted to employ, I told them, Edo job has to bring all the workers in this place. We're not going to take anybody because these are people who will stay in this place, spend their money in this place. So everybody there, they were employed through Edo jobs. So that way, so we're also keeping data. We know who is who and where they are. So it is a symbiotic value chain relationship. So if we start capture it from the beginning, we'll be able to know where the throughput is. So that way we can guarantee jobs for our people. We must employ the Edo people first, whether you are resident or you are indigene. As long as you are here, you have a right. And it's from these economic activities that employment. Don't forget, housing is a major GDP contributor and it's a major employer of labor. For one house to be built, statistics have shown over 400 people will work there at one time or the other. So think about that. 400 times 1,660. Do the maths.
Okay.
Directly or indirectly.
Okay. The JARA mod project was delivered in record time. How was EDPA able to achieve this, and what other plans do you have in this regard? Do we have more JARAs coming?
Yes, we do. JARA was opened in March. Before then, remember, that place in Second was a den of robbers, snakes, and people that want to throw their poo-poo through the fence. It was like that for years. And then JARA came to Edo to prospect like every other investor, and so we want to open this. Remember that the person who is running, who is actually behind JARA is the person who brought ShopRite to Nigeria. But JARA is the Nigerian brand. It is a Nigerian brand. Everything that is sold in JARA is 100% Nigerian made. They don't sell anything foreign. So this is the second JARA in the whole country. The first one was opened in Ikeja, and ours is the second. Because of the reception that JARA has received in Benin City, we are going to open 3 new JARAs within now and maybe mid next year. We have JARA coming up in Ugbawo.
Oh, yeah?
We have JARA coming up in Ekpoma. We have JARA coming up in Buyoko. Yes. Because remember Gele Gele, that's the way to Gele Gele. So people that are running from Buyoko to come to Ring Road to shop, there will be no need. The infrastructure will be there, road is passing it. So when you finish everything, as you're going home, just enter JARA, do your shopping. Whether you want raw meat or fish, anything you need, we are selling it in JARA. So that is it. These are the kind of, so many of these things are coming now. Eban, all this, they are coming. We are not I told you that Edo is the bride. Everybody's after. They have seen it because somebody has to start it. And the governor has shown that I have guts. This administration has shown we have guts. We will try it. So far, it is positive and it's for our people. So they've seen it. Many people were skeptical about JARA. Now, JARA sells at prices that even people in Mission Road come. When we do promotion in JARA, people in Mission Road come to buy the drinks in JARA, come to buy noodles in JARA because it's cheaper than anywhere. And then, with the loyalty card, you even get additional discount again. So there's a lot. You can never go to JARA and see it empty. They are stocking. And all our people, we are working with the agri-clusters. We're not doing it on our own. So all the agri-clusters are coming and supplying things. So we have local people supplying. We want to a point where we want to get to a point where we say that nearly everything that is supplied in JARA in Edo is local. That is where we want, that is the vision. You understand? So Mr. Governor will always tell you, look at the vision. Don't be moved by 2 naira, 3 naira profit you want to make. No. Let us create activity. Once economic activity is there, whatever the gains are, it will naturally follow.
Now, how are the actors in the built environment sector factored into the operations of your agency?
Good. See, we have an association called the Professionals in the Built Environment. So architects, estate surveyors, land surveyors, quantity surveyors, urban and regional planners, even lawyers. What we do, let me take a typical example. There is an approval we have received now for us to do particular regularization in particular area I will not mention. And what we did was we called the built environment and said, you know what, like I told you, EDPA is not dependent on government. So we said to them, we do not have money to do this project, but this project will benefit all of you. Because this is somewhere where they have encroached on our land. Okay? So we want to take the data, arrange the people, and see how we can put them into a structure. We had meetings with the built environment, and we work very closely with them. We don't do anything in isolation of them. Anything we do, we consult them. They work with us. They are work that they even work with us in advance, and we pay them back ends. Because some of these transactions, we cannot get the benefit until back end. But because we have a good relationship with them, they understand that. They're willing to do the work, and then we pay them. Because if, for example, let's say let's take this Emotan Gardens, for example. We want to do the topography to know. It's a lot of money for 70 hectares. If government decide to put that kind of money down, you will not be able to fence, you will not be able to do anything. But with this kind of engagement, they can do it, and as we sell from there, we give them whatever is due to them. And they are happy because what is the benefit of that? All of them are involved. There is guaranteed income coming. They are sure that this money is definitely coming. Yeah, it might not come on day one setting, but you are going to get it. Because the government has integrity. And people trust the brand. And when there's trust in a brand, there is value in that brand. So that's what we're doing. So the debate where all the presidents, all the heads of, we meet regularly, we tell them what is coming with government. They also have that relation with Mr. Governor, not just our agency, even with Mr. Governor. So when he wants to do anything, when we're doing the industrial park, it was the built environment we used. The designs, everything, the compensation, they are the same people. So they are even happy to work with this government because they know that whatever is due to them, we will not give it to outsiders.
Talking about adding value, it is said that a lot of those in the diaspora made investment in a Emotan Gardens Estate project.
Yes.
Is this true? And what other avenues can they invest in the state through their own initiatives?
You know, we did a roadshow for Emotan Gardens. We took it to the Edo in Diaspora annual meet in Canada. And in that place, Emotan Gardens was sold. A lot of people bought. You see, why diaspora people are investing is this. A lot of diaspora people had in the past given their families money to build houses for them. And they came back. Either they used something to hold them not to come back, or the place is not there, or they need to marry a new wife, or they do one thing or the other.
Or they send them pictures.
Or they send them pictures of another man's house. So the thing about the people in diaspora, this was a government-backed transaction. So they had confidence in the system. And we were able to allow them to pay small, PSS. So they were able to pay small. A lot of them just said, you know what?
That's what it means. Pay small,
PSS. So a lot of people send their families to go and check whether this actually exists. Is it a hoax? Is it a new way of government stealing from us? And once they check that it is there, when we are giving them their location, it has Road 1, Unit 16, and they are marked on the houses. So it's not wayo. All of them who have bought, their allocations are with them. Some of them have even had their families come to us to say, please hand over to so and so person. Right now, we're saying to the other people, that phase that is completed, come and take occupation. We need all of you to move in. If you don't move in between this time and this time, we're going to have to, because we need activity. People get more confident when they come into the estate and see people are living there. It gives them mind to invest and know, okay, in this so and so time, my place will be ready. So they are partners, so we believe in them. And we believe in the strength of the diaspora, because most Edo people are either in local or international diaspora. So even our diaspora in Lagos, our diaspora in Abuja, our diaspora in Port Harcourt, our diaspora in Kano, they are participating.
Now, what, in your own opinion, are the 3 key projects, just briefly, that you think are sufficient to convince Edo people to vote for Governor Godwin Obaseki for a second term in office?
When you say 3, you put me in a very difficult position.
I said briefly, just briefly.
So let us leave everything and let us just look on Sapler Road. You see that secretariat? If you look at it from the top like this, doesn't it remind you of some places abroad?
It does.
That is something that has been abandoned since Ogbemudia time. It became an albatross, like something that Juju has held that nobody can touch. Look at it today now. Do you believe that is Benin City? If it's only that one safe, if nothing else. 2, the fact that no pensioner has died on a queue in Edo State. If it's only that one, they should allow him. Because I know states that 18, 20, 30 months, they have not been paid salary. Since I've been here, I will not lie. 25th, I did ping. I'll just get that alert. I even have expectation. Do you know what that means? I am looking forward to getting my alerts. That makes me know that, hey, these people, they value me. I'm not the only one. No civil servant in Edo State to say they are old. My brother, sister, if that is not enough for them to say that they should support him, let us start with the roads. There are so many. I cannot even talk. They don't call it vacancy. Have you heard anywhere called Obaseki Street, Obaseki Amphitheater, Obaseki Hospital? You know how these governors, they do? When they just put one small thing like this, they will call the whole world to come and look at it. They'll write their name and their picture. There are some states I entered from the airport, now only the governor picture. Picture. You can't even see what they're doing, only the governor's picture. The amount they spent on picture alone is enough to build how many houses. I don't see Oga's picture anywhere. If not for campaign, you cannot even see his picture anywhere. It's called wake and see, because when you just wake up like this, bah, you will just see something happening in your street. You don't need to know anybody. The fact that you don't need to know anybody in Edo State for things to be done shows that it is a people's government. I don't want to start to go to Agrico or even my own Emotan Gardens. Or which one? Is it Edo job I want to call? Or is it public sector reforms? Abi is judiciary. Abi it is production center. If I start to talk, they will start to go to all those Abuja, those schools and places that Oga has touched, health centers. Or is it Ogbemija Stadium? Have you seen that stadium? When you are flying into Edo like this, when you just see this Samuel Ogbemudia, it's as if you are watching
Olympics ball.
Hey! I don't want to talk. I don't think there's any stadium like that in this Nigeria. This is built by a state. Look, my dear sister, they should just leave also. So that this thing, you know, sometimes when you are cooking something in the fire, your child will call, mommy, give me meat. It doesn't know when the sauce entered the soup, the totality. When you suck that meat, your brain will be turning like this.
All right.
That is Obaseki for you.
Isoken has been so wonderful. Seriously. And you know, when she came in, I told her, I said she's an interviewer's delight any day. We'll just take a short break now. When we come back, we'll take a few messages from our page. Stay with us.
Previously, pensioners find it difficult to get their salary, not to talk of gratuity. Thank God today the modality that is in this very present regime of Governor known as Obaseki, he has changed many modalities to be in favor of pensioners. The last clinic we did so, this very last clinic, to print and go help many situations that pensioners to print and go back home.
Before, when we want to do verification, people will bring a whole file of documentations to come to do verifications, and I dare to say that we are the best state government in terms of biometrics now. The chairman of the pension union came in to say it's just, they cannot thank the government enough. They cannot thank Governor Obaseki for this innovation, where verification of pensioners is just in this list 10 seconds.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, it's okay. Our page is almost busting. Seriously. We just have time to take a few questions. This one is coming from Bovo Osai Bovo Omori. I am in Italy. I live in Italy. I am interested in this Emotan garden. Can one benefit from it?
Yes. We are starting the second phase now. And with the second phase, we are now taking people that we actually had a waiting list, I would not lie. Now, there are a lot of people showing interest. So we will be providing the information, you know, on our website. And also we'll be providing it to people who are interested in buying. The good thing about it now is that going forward, you have it the forms loaded on our website, so you can actually fill it and send it back to us, and we can start the processing. You don't need to come or all that. Once we get your form and we process it, you will get a mail from us saying that we have received this. These are the next thing you need to do, and then we'll be loading the work as it is going on, so you can actually monitor what is happening. It's not a hoax. You will see that, okay, this is what is happening, this is the, where we have reached, this is the stage we are, or whatever. So it will be quite open and everything.
Morgan Noba says, how is the Emotan Garden Estate powered?
We are, like I said to you, we are working with Osiomo power. But that's not the only thing. We're looking at alternative power as well. Because what we want to do is to give value to the residents. So we're making sure they have different options. Oga had promised 24 hours power. So whatever options we use to provide it will not only be electricity. We'll look at solar, we'll look at the other options. At the moment, we have both solar and the normal national grid power in the estate right now. But we're also in talks with other people, because you know that once also more power comes, there is power that is going to pass the state that will be 24 hours. So we intend to tie into that. You know, but also they will remember that everything we do will be metered and paid for.
Definitely.
Because it is private sector driven.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Enoma Guahide just made a comment. Say, dear Madam Moderator, please, I think you should try and make provision for people to call in. You are doing a very great job here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any last word from you before we round up?
Okay, I want to say something. You can see what I'm dressed. I'm dressed, you know, it's campaign time. So I don't think it's fair for me to finish talking without mentioning that. You know, a lot of us, they say to us, Obaseki employs women. Obaseki brings out the people from diaspora. It's something that they've been talking about. You know, if we didn't believe, I was working in the UK before I came to Nigeria. I was doing a good job. It wasn't out of need that I came here. I came here to give back. It's a time to give back. A lot of us are here because we believe it's a time to give back. And we have spoken to the government, current government today, and we trust what they have said to us. Nobody has said that this government has stolen money. I find that really strange. I'm still looking to find whether they will find it somewhere. They've always said they don't share the money. They don't share the money. If they share the money, how will we do all these things? Even in the Niger Delta, we are among the poorest as per what we get to. We are among the poorest. But with the little that we have, we are putting it there for our people to benefit. Whether it's education, whether it's health, whether it's agri, whether it's housing, whether it's job, we are doing it for people to benefit. And this is what we want government to come and serve the people. That is why we say we want government to come and serve. How come service has become a thing of a problem? Somebody is serving, it's not a problem. You want them to steal this small money we have. We will not steal, we will serve. But they should allow us to serve the state. So when we leave things for posterity, we call government, Bermuda government, Jack Conde. If they were doing bad things, how many of the people that have been still have you heard their names being called? We wanted to remember Obaseki's government, Shuaibu's government, because of the things they put in place for posterity.
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure to come.
Thank you.
Exercise your rights.
Isoken Omo, she's the executive chairman of EDPA. She's not only a builder, she's also a marketer. And you can see the way she uses a lot of adjectives and gesticulations to drive home her points. It's always a delight to have you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
And of course, you all agree with me that the three basic necessities of man are food, clothing, and of course, shelter. And this government, I believe, is doing just that. And she's saying that you can actually own your own home by paying small. All right? Just before we round off, I would like to let us know that Ukinebo Dare, the Edo Jobs lady, is on standby. She's coming to join us to talk about the release of the statistics from the National Bureau of Statistics, where the unemployment rate in Edo State dropped. So she's actually very happy. We are here to celebrate her, and she's going to tell us how she was able to do that. So on behalf of everybody that has contributed to this program this evening, my name is Habiba Oyege Oyarekwa. Good evening.
Obaseki na umbrella. Obaseki na PDP. Na PDP we dey. Obaseki no be blue. Obaseki na umbrella. Obaseki na umbrella. Obaseki na PDP. Obaseki na PDP. The symbol is umbrella. Na PDP we dey. Obaseki no be blue. Obaseki no be blue. Oya, oya, oya. Obaseki shaibu. Togba. Them getting plenty achievements, yo. Like them bring Edo best. Many renovation. Everybody they happy for Edo. They say Obaseki na correct.